And I woke up this morning, right? And I kept hearing David, right? And someone that might be your name, okay? But it kind of forced me into, seeing what God had coming through for that. So then I started reading about David and this covenant and all these different things. Okay, for those of you guys who I heard are deepening your faith, I'm just merely confirmation for you, okay, at this part of your journey. All right, this is the message for those of you guys. There's a reason why I've been posting I've been posting that energy of calling, of judgment, of, what you're being asked and required to do. And here's the thing, right? Those of you guys that are deepening your faith, God has a way of coming through in the most inconvenient ways, at the most inconvenient time, with the most almost impossible thing for you to complete, right? So for some of you guys, this has required you into solitude. This has brought you into hermit mode. This has been bringing you deeper in your faith. Some of you guys might be reading your Bible more. Some of you guys are just listening, right? I feel like you this spiritual call that many people are getting, right? We've been talking for a long time about, this divine partnership that's happening right now, right? These awakenings that people are having, that people are having in their life, right? And a lot of you guys who are messengers, I'm hearing, who are on this platform, a lot of you guys are overcoming certain things. And I feel like this part of your cycle, your season, is your divinity. You know, not this magic aspect, your divinity, your true self, right? Because God speaks to the soul and spirit of people, right? And for whoever you are, God has acknowledged your heart. There's something here about your heart, right? God sees that you want to love. God sees that you want to heal. God sees that you're in some situations that you feel you shouldn't be in. But we're going to take it back to the beginning for you, is what the Most High is telling me today. So for a lot of you guys, like a lot of people carry this title or want this title of being chosen, and God's going to tell you how you know that you have been and you are. Okay, I'm merely confirmation for you. Okay, and so what I'm hearing is a lot of you guys, your upbringing, okay, was anything but desirable. A lot of you guys, you dealt with a lot of adversity your whole life. A lot of you guys, you have attracted all types of people. A lot of you guys, you're like, people are overwhelmed by you, is what God is saying, right? And people want to be around you. You've always attracted people, right? But you weren't understanding something about the people that were around you. A lot of you guys had these feelings of being targeted. A lot of you guys had these feelings of, feeling alone, feeling like, people wanted to make you seem, my left ear is ringing, crazy, that you believe in a false God, that there's no God that's going to work and or move for you. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. A lot of you guys have gone through situations and stages in your life that were hard, but you had to grow from. A lot of you guys are the people that I'm talking to that have gone through situation after situation after situation. And you're like, damn, can I get a break? And a lot of you guys are like at this point where God's trying to tell you, I'm trying to show you something here. I'm trying to show you something here. Some of you guys might be feeling like, the world is against you, and God is saying, I'm trying to show you something here. And I feel like there's a lot of inner child healing that's going on right now. God is saying, I'm trying to tell you something. You were chosen for something. And when we talk about where we're at right now, getting out the matrix and people tapping in and people understanding what this is all about, it's all about unity, right? And God is saying here that with this new foundation that's supposed to be built off of love, right? You guys had to do a whole lot of purging to understand what that love meant for you. Some of you guys are messengers of love, right? Some of you guys bring healing to people through the messages that you speak. Some of you guys bring truth and clarity to people, from the messages that you speak. God is using you and putting you in certain positions to understand your divine authority, period. Okay. So with that being said, some of you guys, when we talk about these covens, right, and these occults, some of you guys are like feeling like a lot of people have put you in things. A lot of people have made people look out for you. A lot of people have put in false things about you in the ears of people who supposedly matter, correct? And God is saying those people, okay, are going to be ousted. Those people that were saying those false things about you are going to be removed. God is saying that He is doing something. And when God says that He's going to do something, He's going to do it. Now, this is not a message of fear, but God is a just God, correct? God has a covenant with certain individuals. There is a covenant here that will be fulfilled. It will be protected. It will be understood. When I was reading about David, right? Many of you guys know the story of David, right? I'm sure. But I'll just give a brief summary, right, of what I got over all this. A lot of you guys that were dealing with these things and these covens, okay? A lot of you guys who are so deeply entrenched in like spirituality, right? Some of you guys were very, very much so entrenched in, you know, the workings of the energy manipulation and such. And God is telling you this, right? Your bloodline, your divine bloodline, right? This is deeper than what we can physically see. Your divine bloodline, your inheritance, your portion. When we talk about these things, like again, the Freemasons and the cults and the other whatever, the principalities of darkness that they talk about, all those fake things, right? When we talk about those things, you got to understand that God told God, okay, God was looking for someone to be in charge of something, right? At a point in time, and he was seeking a certain individual, and God had said that He would know this individual, okay, by his eyes and his heart. There's something about the heart here, okay. And so God went and had many people sought after for His purpose. And He came across David. David was probably about 14, 15 years old when God chose him to do a thing. And God told him, okay, at this time that He was going to make a covenant with him. He was going to come into agreement with him and with his descendants. And what this agreement meant between God and David was that the bloodline would continue, the legacy would continue. That these things that we have read about in the Bible are actually things to come in the future. The Bible is a book of prophecy. Okay, the Bible is a book of promise. And for a lot of you guys have been coming into understanding, okay, or agreement with what your divine purpose is here through whatever teaching God is showing you or making you understand about your individual life, okay? Um, so when we talk about those dark principalities, right? God told David that he was going to be king, that he was going to rule, that he was going to have this and this and that. God also then told David that his descendants would prosper, right? Would be rulers, would be kings, queens, whatever. God also told David that he was going to have a son, right? And his son was to create this temple of God, whatever. So let's fast forward to here we are today. The churches, right? The buildings that are supposedly houses of God, houses of worship. God had told David that his son was going to create that. So when Solomon came about, this is what he did, right? He created this temple. He did all these things that God had asked him to do. He was living on assignment as well. His assignment was given to the Father. So with this being said, Solomon spent his life, right, doing these things for God. But it came a point in time where Solomon realized, listen, follow me, that he was going up against some forces that he didn't know existed, wasn't prepared to battle. Okay? So both of these men, David and Solomon, went to God in prayer, right? This is the thing with being in power. This is the thing with being, divinely set up in a position of power or authority is you understand the ultimate authority. And God says, for those of you guys that pray to Him before you make decisions, before you get out here and speak these messages, God is saying this is why He gives you the green light. It is done through Him that you receive these messages to give, okay? So we want to say that because none of this would be possible without that agreement, okay? So with that being said, when that was created, whatever, after that time period, Solomon had found that there were forces that were at play against him, right? And so, kind of the same as his father David when it came to Saul. If you understand the Bible, you know where I'm going. If not, read up on it, okay? Um, so, okay. Let's take it back again to David and Goliath, okay? I just got a download. It always seemed as though when God was present for you guys, you dealt with some things that you felt you couldn't overcome. And I'm seeing the image of David and Goliath. David was much smaller than Goliath, right? Goliath had on all this armor, all this stuff, and David's like, I got God, right? So whatever happened, David won that battle. Clear, Goliath was out. This is like symbolism as well as you guys taking down some of the greatest oppositions, right, of your time. And this is all through your faith, right? And God is acknowledging that whatever stronghold, whatever greatness was over you, God is saying that that has been removed. I'm seeing something about obstacles being removed as well. Now, going back to Solomon, he came into contact with many evil entities and energies and spirits. And Solomon was someone who had the power and the God-given authority to call these, let's see, entities for what they were, okay, and bind them and remove them. So, and this is where this magic and all this stuff comes from, okay? When we talk about these Masons and all this stuff, what some people don't realize about truly divine chosen individuals is they will get the history behind the history behind the history. And God is giving the history. God is giving you the history because he wants you to fear no evil. When we talk about fearing no evil, these groups and these societies that want to play with these dark forces against you, chosen one, God is giving you the power over them. Tower. Meaning it doesn't matter the spell, it doesn't matter the magic. Your descendants already took down, in other words, if you're flowing, you're flowing, took down these entities. You understand when we talk about high level and high ranking principalities and demons and all these things, you come from a bloodline of royalty that was responsible for taking these things down already. History repeats itself if you don't understand these certain things about who you are, why you're so powerful, why you tap into tarot, why you can see an energy, call it out, remove it, why magic doesn't affect you, because you are someone, you are made of that, you are born from that, it's in your bloodline. Okay, so when we're talking about breaking these curses, we're talking about a whole lot of stuff that's going on right now because there is a prophecy that is happening. We keep talking about the promise, the covenant, the prophecy, the covenant, all these things are happening. These things are happening right now. The point of God telling David that his son was going to build a temple is the same reason that God has told you, chosen ones, that there is a kingdom energy that is being built, right? Because it has also been said that certain things couldn't come to pass or come to fruition if the old wasn't done away with. So we are literally in the rebuilding phase of what the divine wanted to have implemented in the physical. And this is where your intuition is getting stronger. This is where your gifts are getting stronger. When we talk about God's wanting to build this kingdom of his divine energies or his divine people, it's you really actually understanding what you're being chosen to do. What part of that buildup are you being called to put something forward into? What are you being called to plant the seed on? How are you going to uplift and inspire and allow other individuals to know that they are a part of something greater as well? There was also a curse that was placed. Okay, it says it in the Bible as well that God placed a curse on the men of the descendants of David, and this was because David walked with God, yes, but he had many, many sins. Okay, he did many, many things that weren't pleasing. Okay, it talks in the Bible about many times about God putting curses on certain individuals for certain reasons. And when I talked the other day about breaking these curses, this is what it's about. You guys got to understand, it all ties in together, and it's going to make it make sense. Patience is a virtue, right? A lot of you guys are earth angels. A lot of you guys are messengers. A lot of you guys are teachers. A lot of you guys are healers. A lot of you guys are just meant to be love personified. A lot of you guys are just meant to use your gifts to enlighten. And God had said, if you build it, they will come, right? God said, be the light, and it would they would see you, whoever you are. You're just being told to stay in the light. But also, whoever you are, you're being told that it's necessary for you to have balance. So in order to be of the light, you must also see and acknowledge that dark exists. But with that, God is saying there is no fear there. There is a certain protection that whoever I'm picking up on, you have a heavy, heavy anointing, okay? You have a heavy, heavy purpose. There's many of you. Many of you are learning who you are on a soul and spirit level. Some of you guys, okay, are again reincarnations of certain individuals. Some of you guys, you need to know who you are, is what I'm hearing, okay? God is not giving this message for you to not know. Some of you guys may have to come back, listen to this when you go through another awakening or another rebirth. There's certain things that are happening. There's a lot of judgment in the air. So a lot of people are going to be waking up to certain things. A lot of people are going to be having more dreams and visions about certain things. But God is doing something ultimately that he had said and promised that he would do for whoever his believers are, right? And that's just it. That's just it. A lot of people will say, oh, you can't be of God if you do tarot. But again, what I want to make you guys understand is you are who you are. Your gift and your outlet to show and display and experience and speak and stand in your truth for what God is calling you to do, that's what you do. I stopped doing tarot on here because I saw how I was being targeted and attacked, and I didn't like it. I don't need the cards. You understand? Some of you guys are growing in your calling. Some of you guys are being called to think bigger. Some of you guys are being called to understand that you have a purpose that is going to require you to be in a position where you have to understand both sides of a situation. Okay? You have to understand that some of you guys have been for so long looking at the dark side of the situation. Why am I going through this? God, why are you doing this to me? God, why am I living this way? Why am I having this experience? Why are they stalking me? Why are they discriminating against me? Why are they harassing me? Why don't they accept me? Why don't they approve of me? All of these things. And God's like, listen, you're not the first. Understand your calling and your mission and rise above that, because that's a small thing in the grand scheme of what is really going on and what is really being built here. I am a master 22/4. And what a lot of people don't understand is that my gifts and what I am able to do might be a lot different from other individuals. I am a grand fire and a grand water trine. Okay, I incorporate many, many different elements into the person and the being that I have become. I understand when I be seeing different things that it means different things for different people. Some people are meant to be behind the scenes. You understand? Some people are meant to be in front of the screen. Some people are meant to do both. You have to know where you fit. Everybody wants to be in front of the screen, but everyone isn't. They don't understand why. Some of us truly have to work behind the scenes. When we say behind the scenes, we're talking about with the divine, with the ancestors, with the things that people don't believe exist. We got to be back there doing that, because God says everything happens confirmation in darkness before it's seen. So when I'm telling y'all go into hermit mode, that's God saying I need time with you. I need to separate you. We got to talk. We got to build some stuff. And when it's time, I'm going to tell you, go out there and do what you got to do. Speak to the people, whoever you are. Some of y'all, your messages are just meant to bring people into greater divine alignment. Everyone has a different calling. God's going to give you what he knows that you can handle. But when something is given to you, you must know and understand that it is taken very seriously. This is God's universe. So the universe must abide by the commands that God is setting for it. Do you understand? And this is another illusion that people don't want you to understand. People always want to make you out to be alone. You have no one, you know what you're talking about. None of these things. But God is saying, if I am for you, it matters not who is against you. I put in you a great thing to do. It's great for God for you to follow what he's telling you to do. And it's great because the thing here is God's going to tell you something that's not just going to be for your best self, for your selfish needs and gain. It's going to be for a multitude of people. When God asks you, what do you want? Because some of you guys, you've had this interaction. When God came to you and said, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Right? Because you prayed and God finally came through. And God asked you, what do you want him to do? You said specifically, blah, blah, blah. Right? God's going to make sure that happens. You understand? And it's about having that faith. This is a journey of faith. This is a journey of really understanding that even though it might not make sense, that none of this makes sense. It's how it was meant to be. The author of confusion is the devil, right? But there are still pieces of truth in the confusion. And to find those pieces of truth, you must go to the one who created, even the one that's causing the confusion. Do you understand? So a lot of you guys are like elevating, okay? And a lot of you guys, I feel like God's calling you to do something different. God is going to be asking you to. Some of this has to do a lot with you guys, chosen ones, testimony. Okay, some of you guys may be like in the space of God calling you to speak your truth. God calling you to come outside of that box. God calling you to do whatever it is that you are being guided to do. But this is something that you have convened with in spirit. You have had this whole connection, communion, whatever, with the Most High and what it is that you are being called to do in this reality. And at this point, you're just going to have to follow what your intuition is telling you because God is with you, okay? So there's a lot of different things going on for a lot of chosen people, okay? But I want to read you this covenant really quick. I want to read this, okay, to you. For any of you guys who have just been trying to understand like why. And I'm not, everybody goes through things, but I'm talking about those of you guys, you know who you are. And life has been everything but unfair, right? You have been attacked, okay? And God wants you to know it's not because of who you are, it's because of whose you are. And as long as you have a doubt in your mind that you are not who you were told that you were, these things will continue to plague you. But God is saying, this is why I'm calling for an ultimate transformation. This is why I'm calling for my chosen ones to wake up. This is why I'm calling for you guys to stay alert, to not be tricked. Because again, Solomon, okay, in the Bible, it says that Solomon was tricked off of the throne as well by a demon. Whatever the case may happen, he became king again. But there are certain things here, like even the greatest of the greats go through moments of depression, confusion. I don't know which way to go. But there's something here about that inner light. Okay, your inner light is always going to reignite for you what it is you're supposed to be doing here. Because a lot of you guys, you don't understand when you're this far in your calling, you're not living for yourself. Like you are, you know what I'm saying? But when some of you guys, I'm feeling like you are very much so into your purpose and what God is asking you to do here. And that you are letting God guide your steps in every way of your life. And so when you are feeling these heavy emotions, God is just telling you to release them and let them go. It's a part of your journey, okay? Some of you guys, you just need to know you have a heavy calling, all right? And to much whom is given, much is required. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, you understand? But God gives his toughest battles to the strongest soldiers, and I believe that. And if this message is resonating with you, this is what it is. You guys are coming out of a period of not knowing and understanding to feeling and resonating. Like there was some really, really harsh principalities that were at play for a lot of chosen ones. A lot of you chosen ones, you were the only ones that could come in and break down these false principalities and these demonic forces, however you want to look at it. You were the one, you were chosen. You have the God-given power and authority to rule over dark principalities. And I don't think people understand what that means. When you petition to God, because God made a promise with you, right? When you pray to God and you say, God, I need all of these false principalities to come down. I need every demonic entity that is in a position of power to fall. When you speak with conviction, God's going to move. Understand? Because you know why you're calling for it. Something better cannot be built with the same shit as its foundation. That's all I heard, okay? That's what I heard. So you guys, there's something bigger going on here. And those of you guys who are strong in your faith and you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be because God has the final say. And we're all chosen, right? We're all here to do God's work, right? So there should be no opposition when it comes to this message if we all on the same page. But there's always those others who want to say something other than what the word of God is. So Let them say what they want to say. Let God show and prove in your life. Okay? Okay, so I have Psalm 89, 28 through 37. Okay? And this was the promise that God gave to David, or the covenant. Okay? My mercy I will keep. My mercy I will keep for him forever, and my covenant shall stand firm with him. His seed also I will make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his sons forsake my law and do not walk in my judgments, if they break my statutes and do not keep my commandments, then I will punish their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. Nevertheless, my loving kindness I will not utterly take from him, nor allow my faithfulness to fail. My covenant I will not break, nor alter the word that has gone out of my lips. Once I have sworn by my holiness, I will not lie to David. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever like the moon, even like the faithful witnesses in the sky. Okay, so, and it's crazy too, when we talk about these twins, this even goes to that twin energy. A lot of you divine feminines, you had to awaken. A lot of you guys were dealing with some shit that was completely beneath you. You know that now. If you're where I'm feeling you are, you know that now. And that's why I said it's no hurt, it's just enlightenment, right? It's no bad feelings, it's just love, it's just growth, it's just expansion, it's just knowledge, it's just lessons learned, it's just wisdom, right? And I feel like a lot of you divine feminines, you've been waiting for, right? There's that waiting energy for your divine person, your kingdom spouse. Remember, keyword here, kingdom, right? Is meaning that God is bringing this person to you when the time is right. Not just for you, but when that person is right. Like I said, how God looked out and searched for the perfect, in his eyes, person. Others thought he wasn't perfect, but God thought this person was perfect for his work. So when I say it's the same thing when it comes to your divine spouse, divine feminine, God will know when this person is ready for you, because God is working on this person as God has worked through you. So with that being said, you're not waiting for nothing. God is going to promise and do what he said he would do when it comes to you, in accordance with you. That's just what I heard. Again, like I said, a lot of these masculines had to endure things because of, if you believe in generational, then you understand where I'm coming from. A lot of us chosen ones, us healers, have had to break generational curses. And this comes when, this comes with family, this comes with finance, this comes with love, this comes with partnerships, this comes with work contracts. We have had to heal all aspects of our lives, because all aspects of our lives have been tainted in this reality. So when we were pushed into our awakening, we had to shed many, many layers of existence. We had to stop believing that we were who we saw, and we had to tap in deeper to realize what God saw that we were, and see ourselves in that same image and likeness. And that takes a lot of work. So these men that you guys have been awakening, and they have been opening up to their path and their purpose, these divine masculines are doing their work. Because as I said, because of the sins of the father is what I heard. Those individuals, in that bloodline, those men have had to heal. And God said that there would come a time when these certain things will be broken off of people, these strongholds. So for a lot of men that were going through a lot of situations growing up, and, there's just a lot of shit, okay? We're not going to get into all that, but men are healing too. Men are becoming aware as well. Men are opening their eyes. Men are seeing the light. Men are understanding they were in a dark place. Men are seeing that they've made mistakes. Men are repenting. Men are praying. Men are seeking. And this is all because these divine feminines that's been out here trying to enlighten the masses. You understand? And these masculines just feeling something got to change. What path are they talking about? They talking about this judgment. They talking about all this energy shit. They talking about this magic stuff. What's really going on? And these men are tapping in. And these men are getting guided, just as you are, divine feminine, to where they are supposed to be, their rightful spot in God's eyes, not man's. And when we stop looking at how the world views us, or how we should be in the eyes of the world, that is when we understand what God is wanting for us. Okay? This is why I have a problem with those messengers or prophets that be on this platform half naked. Like, you can give a message without being half naked. Something about that seems very contradictory to me. Like, I'm gonna be half naked, getting up on here talking about God. Like, I don't understand, but okay, you do what you gotta do. I don't get it. But what I will say is this: for those of you guys who are truly doing this work, okay, you might feel like, I don't know why was I chosen? There ain't nothing special about me. It's not about that. God sees something in you. God knows that you will follow, you will listen, you will obey, you will give, you will teach, you will heal, you will enlighten, you will walk with, you will guide. That's why God chose you. Now, there's a lot of people that do the same thing, but they do it in the opposite direction. They use that privilege to manipulate and deceive. I'm talking to the chosen children who understand at this point in time that they are here for a bigger cause. This is your message. This is just confirmation. And yes, your purpose is that grand. Yes, your mission is that protected. I said no man has seen or heard some of the things that you guys are going to be asked to do. And it is through the work of your hand that God is able to be in this reality. And then they talk too, I kept hearing something about Jesus, or whatever. Again, Jesus came through Mary, but as a descendant of David's line. So the reason why Jesus was brought into being was because there was no living man that had no sin. So when God created Jesus, he created him to be someone that was here to make an ultimate sacrifice for everyone that was to come after him. Okay? So when Jesus was brought into the picture, before him there was sin, there was rulers, there was abominations, all these different things, people in power doing all this weird shit. And then Jesus said, okay, this Davidic line must continue. I need to have someone that is in power and authority that I know has no sin. And he created Jesus. Confirmation. So if you guys are followers of Jesus, if you tend to go to that, you guys got to understand here where that connection comes from. If you understand that energy of sacrifice, the true meaning of sacrifice, and what Jesus was supposedly meant to stand for, you understand. Okay, a lot of people don't believe in Jesus, don't believe in God, whatever. I don't know why they're here, right? A lot of people believe that if you're spiritual, you shouldn't believe in God. So what is your spirit? I'm just confused. Whatever, your message is your message. You understand? So yeah, this is just for those of you guys who are. I was hearing earlier this morning too when I was laying down. I kept hearing Messiah. That's such a beautiful name. Someone might be thinking about naming their child Messiah. That'd be cute. That'd be real cute. Just saying, if there's any Messiahs out there, hello. But yeah, that's another thing too that is left to much interpretation. There are many, I believe, many Messiahs out here. There are many children of God with gifts and messages and teachings. I don't believe there's just one. I think that was a huge misconception and left up to the overall individual to try to understand. I also don't believe the Messiah has to be a man. I don't believe that as well. Everything is energy, everything is spirit. So we have come back many times, reincarnated many life cycles. I am a woman this lifetime. I could have been a man previous one. So however you want to look at it, the Messiah is just someone who is coming back to enlighten the teacher. Okay? The awakened teacher is the Messiah. And that could be man, woman, or child. Okay? God's going to use what he has to bring forward what he wants. Period. Okay? And you are a chosen one, what he has. Okay, so the channel message I got before I go: you come from a royal lineage. You are being called to evolve. A prophecy is coming to fruition through you. Your path was hard for you. You dealt with many things, even thinking back to your oldest memories. You've always felt attacked and never understood why. There was a covenant agreement, and God wishes to fulfill through you. You are descendants of royalty through faith. God promised David a son, and through this, Jesus was created in birth. You are divinely shaped and molded. You're on divine assignment to heal as many people as possible, to guide our world toward love. David was full of sin, but was still a man after God's own heart, and he was loved by God for that. Acknowledgement of a divine force is moving in your life right now, okay? The men in this prophecy have had to endure many hardships as well, breaking generational bloodline curses through healing and self reevaluation. Earth angels keep mastering patience, okay? Because everything is going in divine alignment, on divine time, all right? God's always going to do what he says he will do. If he has to intercede on your behalf, he will, no questions asked. Because when God makes a promise, he is not one to lie. Trust and have faith and be strong in prayer and unwavering in hope. Okay? That's the message that I have for y'all today. For those of you guys who are going through this spiritual awakening, this period of enlightenment and growth, congratulations on getting closer to who you are, getting closer to your true self, overcoming those fears, whatever your fear is, or whatever your calling has calling confirmation, whatever your calling was calling you to do that you were fearful of or weren't sure that you would have the provided things needed, you will. You guys got to understand that it wouldn't be being asked of you if you didn't have it. The magician has everything they need at their disposal to create what it is they want to see. God is saying that you guys are the magicians of your reality. You have all of the tools, you have all of the knowledge, you have all of the wisdom. It's time to start building. It's time to understand that there's a time for the build, there's a time for the fall. The fall has occurred, and it's time for the build. It's time for the rebuild of humanity into a higher level of existence. No more can we continue to live in these dark paradigms and have these dark principalities running over a nation of individuals who is truly enlightened and already over the fuck shit. It's not going to work, and it's not going to work. It hasn't been working for a lot of chosen beings for a long time. And now, with this influx of chosen individuals stepping into their true authenticity and capabilities and spiritual power through spiritual enlightenment, through all of the adversity and diversity and attacks that they have faced, it is only gearing them up in the spirit to do more of what God is asking them to do, which is tear down even more of these dark principalities. God said, show me your enemy. God said, point them out. God said, bring them to me. And you guys don't understand how the more you are in your calling and the more you are met with these obstacles and blockages and these entities and these demons and these fucking people, the more God is present. I keep telling you that. God is so very much present. Your intuition is your superpower. Why do you think they're attacking your crown? Your rooted and grounded nature. Why do you think they're trying to throw you off? Your beliefs, morals, and values. Why do you think they want you to believe in nothing, fall for anything? You are a powerful embodiment of divine creation. You're not sitting here waiting for no love opportunity, no Ace of Pentacles opportunity. Well, God is wanting you to know that you are the Ace of Cups. You are the Ace of Pentacles. You are the Ace of Swords, and you are the Ace of Wands. What are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to do in this reality to display those gifts? To be the gift that you once were looking for until you found out what that gift was. When you opened up yourself, when you trusted yourself, when you listened to that divine intelligence that you received, and you stopped suppressing your gifts and yourself and your talents and your capabilities, right? When you got out there and you took that leap of faith and you said, okay, God, I'm gonna just give it what I got, and God blessed you, correct? Now is the season of blessings tenfold. Now is the season of everyone and anyone trying to come up against what God has promised for you to fall. Now is the time where God is saying, I am commanding you to do the thing. I am giving you my power and authority to make the change occur. I am guiding your footsteps. I am your stronghold. That's what God is saying to you, chosen ones. So keep knowing who you are, keep trusting in yourself, keep trusting in the God that you serve, and know that he's going to come through and provide for you every single time. This message was a message for you on the promise over your covenant, over your protected whatever. Okay? Whoever needs this was God coming through me to tell you that that covenant that we've spoken about is protected. That prophecy, that vision that I gave you, hold it. That prayer that you asked, and I said, just wait. None of these things happen for no reason. Okay? Rise above the situations. Okay? Know who you are, know why you're here, then you'll better know how to navigate. There's the thing. If you don't know what your purpose is, then you will go any which way. This is why I said it's time to get closer. You can't say you're chosen with no communication with divine. You can't be on a mission if you have no purpose. Okay? When you know your purpose, you know how to move about this life. It doesn't shake, it doesn't waver, it doesn't change. If you are here to be a divine vessel, a divine person, that's never going to change. Now, what you decide to work on may change many times, but that's because God is using you in many spaces all at one time. Because as a spirit, God can be in many places at one time. Chosen ones, understand your true divinity. Sit with yourself. Heal yourself of the past. It makes it a lot easier to heal once you know all of that was because of who you know you are to be today. And knowing that, you know how, one, to operate. You know how, two, to deal with people that come up against you. You know, three, what their actions mean and symbolize in your life and how you can grow from that. You understand there is no competition. Everything is meant to be a learning experience where the student becomes the teacher and the teacher becomes the student. Life is our school. This 3D is a friggin', what do you call it? A labyrinth, a maze, whatever. Everyone's trying to get out the maze. All right? But this is why I'm saying we got to stop. Sometimes we got to just stop and we got to connect to be guided. So for those of y'all that are doing that, this message is for you. I applaud you. God is telling you that he is adding on to you. His covenant will not be rebuked, whatever that means. They can't tear that down. So whatever has been allowed to be teared down in your reality, God is saying it's okay. I'm going to build up something new. We are going to build up something new. And when it's done together through faith, through love, when it's built for the right purpose, it will not be torn down again. A lot of things that get torn down are because they are not in agreement with what God wants for you. And that might be hard to understand. Some people might be like, oh, but I love this person and da-da-da-da-da. But God is saying that's not the one for you. And that might be something hard to understand, but if God takes away, God replaces. What God removes, he's always going to put something else that's better in its place for you to help you grow. A lot of connections are forming right now. Alignment is happening. So a lot of people are coming into connection. Okay, I keep seeing the Two of Cups. A lot of people are going to be meeting people that resonate with where they are, that want certain things, that have certain goals. I'm getting like a lot of working collaborations as well. Like I said before, we always talk about all these things in the spiritual sense because the spiritual journey truly is all spiritual. It's spiritual. It's what it is. It is spiritual. But when you add to it the layer of reality, some people are bridges. Some people can see beyond the veil. Some people have the true gift of manifestation. Everyone can't manifest. Everyone can't manifest for others outside of themselves. And this is why God chose you too, because whoever you are, you have power. And you use your manifestation power on behalf of many individuals. When God asks you what you want, you don't say, I want a car, I want this, I want that, I want a new home, No, you say, I want love, I want to help people heal, I want to give back where I can. That's your heart. God's going to bless that space. So everything your heart desires will be given to you. You get more when you do more for more than yourself. I'll leave that there. So for these readers who are out here pushing these messages, speaking God and doing all this other weirdness, but really only doing it to gain money, to gain fame and clout and all this other weird shit, that's not agreeable in God's eyes. So remember that too when you're getting up here and You know, I'm not talking to the chosen ones. I'm talking to the other ones that keep trying to attack you with confusion. Okay? Chosen one, you just sit where you know you're supposed to be and keep doing what God is asking you to do. Because these people that are attacking you aren't connected to God. Because if they were, they wouldn't do the things that they're doing. And it's simple as that. Pray for them. Wish them well. Wish them healing. Wish them enlightenment. Wish them that they change their ways and see the truth of what's going on in their reality because they're confused. God's going to come through and bring clarity when you need it. Sometimes when you least expect it. That ear ringing that you're getting, that's the connection being formed. Your line of communication. Open up. Listen. See what's being told to you. Move accordingly. And watch and wait, Three of Wands, for the things that you were told to come to fruition. I feel like a lot of you guys, your past season of whatever it was that you went through, I'm seeing the Strength card, required you to continuously stand your ground, stand up for yourself, be strong, whatever. There's a reason I'm posting what I'm posting. I'm talking to someone out there, okay? That season is done and God saw your work. When I said this before, when you pray, right? You ask God for something. God says, okay, this is what you do. Do means act, right? So this is what you do. Now you go do this, all right? And then I'm gonna do this, whatever. Once you don't, he doesn't even have to say that, but once you know that you've done what you were told to do, you stop. When you know, chosen one, you ask God a specific question. You say, God, what do I need to do? People don't know about your intimate connection and communication with the divine. But when you chosen one said, God, what do I need to do? Guide my steps. And you were guided, Six of Swords, you did that thing that God needed you to do. You take your hand off of it, okay? God knows, because God sees all, that you did what he told you to. Now your part is done. This is the season right now. That whole past season, you didn't know why you had to keep moving, why you had to keep staying strong, why you had to keep moving forward, why you had to keep having positive movement forward, all that Eight of Cups, all that shit. That reason that you just went through, whoever you are back there, is why you're in the season you're in now where God is going to do his part. So your part is, you've done all you can. That's what God is saying. God is saying, you did all you can. Allow me to do what I'm going to do. Allow me to be God. Rest. When I say God is telling y'all to rest, it means stop doing. Because you're co-creating, right? God's using you to do something, to bring something into fruition. So do what's being asked by God and stop. Let him do the rest. When I say God is moving, God is doing some things. When I say God is moving, it's not a time to move. It's a time for rest, so God can move. Hopefully you guys are catching the drift of how I speak at this point. If not, this is why you're coming up against opposition. Because when I say go into hermit mode, when I say God is moving, when I say these things are happening, it's because God is doing something and he needs you to be still. Some of y'all are in situations where God is saying, okay, you're going to say one thing, all right? And then as soon as you say this, I know this is going to be the outcome. So I'm going to put you in hermit mode real quick, confirmation, and I'm going to go handle this thing. So for those of you guys who were, feeling like you were being kind of made to like sit down, or God was kind of, I don't want to say God was restricting you. That's how the enemy will always say. They feel like they're binding you or whatever. But God was restricting you from doing something while he was moving, because some of you guys, some situations, you're just meant to give that warning. The Judgment card. This is why I'm saying, like, some of you guys are just meant to be in spaces to give a warning of something that is to come. And if people take the warning, whatever. If they don't, whatever. There still is something to come, which is God. And God does that for a purpose. And like I said, God will never put you on that line right there and not have your back. So if you're being called to go up in front of these different types of situations and you feel alone, you're like, damn, God, you want me to do that? Like, really? You want me to say? There's a reason for it. Follow your divine guidance and act on it without delay. There's a reason why God tells the messengers to give the messages before he acts. So that when the act occurs, the people that the message was given to can't say God didn't move. You understand why God uses messengers and prophets. true ones. God says they don't believe in you. Well, they'll believe in me. So I need you to stand there and I need you to do what I said. Give the message. And then go. Let me handle the rest. Okay? So that's what I got. Chosen ones, messengers, earth angels, healers, whistleblowers, however you want to call yourself. However you want to look at yourself, you are being told right now in this moment, keep strong on your journey, keep your faith, keep your hope, keep knowing that what we are building and creating here is better than what we have previously been enduring. Change is always hard, and there are always people who are going to be against it. But for those of you guys who keep going through these transformations and changes and rebirths and all these different layers and levels that you guys are shedding and excelling into, God is very, very pleased. Okay, he's very, very pleased with his creation. Okay, and what you guys are creating. I also just got a blessing on your finances and a blessing on your work. Okay, whatever that means for you. I'm literally seeing the Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. So something that you guys have been working on, chosen ones, okay, there's going to be a blessing on that. There's a blessing on your work. Something that you're putting out may be seen as a blessing. But I'm also getting, for those of you guys who are, employed by the divine, you know who you are. I hear you, I see you, I feel you, I resonate. Those of you guys, there's going to be a blessing on your work. I don't know what that means. You need to go in the spirit and pray and ask God what that means for you. But I'm seeing somebody being given something for their hard work. This is a blessing for you. Whatever it is you're working on, whatever you guys have been toiling away at, whatever God has been giving you on assignment to create, to manifest, to study toward, to go after, there's going to be a blessing on that thing. Okay? So that's the message. Have a good one. All right. 51:58 on the time. Happy Sunday, guys. Just love. Okay? Just love people. At the end of the day, that's what this world needs. That's what we all needed at one point in time. We felt lacking, right? We felt that. So understand there are certain people that just don't know how to express themselves, okay? But you're here for a purpose. And as long as you're open and you're expressive, and as long as you are giving these messages you're being guided and called to, you are doing what you have agreed to do, okay? So keep being the best you, and keep going. Keep going, all right? Now you know why. Now you know why. And when you know why, it might make it a little bit easier to endure. I heard waymakers. Waymakers. Some of you guys are waymakers. Some of you guys, you had no idea what the hell you was truly going through. And a lot of people didn't want you to realize what you were really going through. A lot of people are like, no, not you. No one cares about you. No. Always making you feel, like I said, the underdog, right? No one was attacking you. No one cares about you that much. And God was like, all right, okay. Well, let me tell you what I know. So somebody out here, you be getting, you and God be having, the tea is the tea. Okay, that's what I heard. So I understand, I feel you, because, shit that I done had to hear is crazy. And I just sit here like, now what am I supposed to do with all that? You just speak with love, okay? All right, I can do that. I've been doing that for years and been getting heated for it. So, there's a difference between, we're not even going to get into that. I just don't want to. But yeah, that's the message that I got for y'all today, okay? Just stay grounded. And like I said, truly, when you know the purpose of why God, because that's who people pray to when they're going through things. Oh, God, please. Oh, I don't believe in God, but God, please. Like, whatever. Those of you guys who have asked God, like, what the hell is going on? Just be grateful. And a lot of you guys, you need to be extremely grateful because you have some things that are coming in that I'm telling you, things that you had worked on like years ago, years ago, God is going to bless something. Something that you've done, something that you've created, something that you've spoken into existence, something that you have worked on, something that you have collaborated with others on in creating. Whatever this is for you, this can be in any area, any facet of life. I'm telling you, it doesn't just apply to YouTube. Whoever you are that is blessed in my collective will be blessed so that you can continue to bless others. Because I don't think they get what I'm saying when I say that you are the gift that keeps giving. You are the energy that they need to exchange with. What drives you is what they wish could drive them. Your passion is what they wish they could have. Your calling is what they wish they could have. So you must understand why one being, one person, is being attacked by all of these other entities and people and demons and spirits and all types. You got to understand your true power and whose that power comes from. Okay? Another reason why I use the emoji that I use all the time, but I don't think they fail me. So, but yeah, have a good one, y'all. I love y'all. Happy Sunday. Stay blessed. Be strong.